Good evening, Speed Gaming. Tonight we have the third race in Group 30 between Magic Friends, Paratroopa, Leslie Pro. The point stand as Magic Friends has 7, Paratroopa has 6, and Leslie Pro has 5. It has the possibility of being an incredibly close race, so let's all hope that we rolled something especially fun. Joining me tonight, I have Fury SK on comms and Kairos in the tracking booth.
Yeah, we're really hoping for something fun here. Maybe not as fun as game two ended up being with the keys, because that became a little bit frustrating for the runners, but give them something worthwhile because this is a very important race for at least two of these three.
Yeah, even with the forfeit last night, Paratroopa still has a chance to advance until the next round.
Yep. Paratroop is actually in pretty good shape still, but has to look out because Leslie Pro now has a very small time difference in comparison to what it was after the first game. So Uh, anything can happen between those two. Magic Friends has the biggest time gap, so it's very, very likely that Magic Friends can make it there. But I don't know. I've just seen so much from this tournament so far in terms of trolls that I don't know who has the edge between Paratroopa and Leslie Pro.
Well, bye, of course. Anyway, our runners are off. We got a slight delay on Magic Friends. We're going to find a money-making game at Vanilla Start.
Yep, looks like a Guerrilla Moblin Overworld, so won't be a second big enemy up. So might get the lucky Dark Nut Wizard Wombo combo dungeons.
I can feel the quotation marks on that lucky.
Lucky for the viewers, not so lucky for the runners.
Well, lucky for Paratroopa, the Wood Sword is really close to start, though Magic Friends is going to have to double back for his because he just screen scrolled right over it. And I mean, let's face. Oh, hey, that's a book as the white sword item.
Yep, so we got maps, 6 hearts or less. That's always nice.
Sadly, the maps aren't going to help us with the everything is throwing boomerangs and projectiles at our face, but once we get the sword and the a couple more hearts, it should be a bit more manageable. We got a nice bomb drop for Leslie Pro.
Yep, dead end 9 it appears, so we have to venture all the way to the southwest corner if and when we get the Triforce pieces to get there.
Yay, that'll be fun. Alright, Paratroopa doing an early check of the Death Armo screen, didn't really find anything, is gonna head down, maybe scroll over to the grave, or check all these open caves in the corner.
Looks like the bomb wall north of Adele Start is where level 6 is.
Kind of curious to see Leslie Pro going in, but he does have a wood sword, he's got some bombs, and so far, other than tanky bats, we haven't seen much.
Yeah, if you're lucky, it's a couple of extra keys you can get out of this. It's almost acted like a level 5 or level 4 has in the past, where if you go a couple rooms in, you might get up to 2 or 3 and you can go use them elsewhere. So I don't mind it.
Yeah, Magic Friends checks the, I believe it's a hint shop in Vanilla, and picks up his wooden sword. He's gonna head up to Death Armos. Oh, now I didn't see how many times he hit that Lionel, but it doesn't look like they rolled up.
5 on the red Lionel, so I think +1 maybe.
Oh man, see what I get for trying to do math. Right,
Yeah,
Leslie's gonna.
if you want real fun math, let's do the math behind Leslie Pro and Paratroopa's time difference.
I see. I question your use of the word fun in this situation, Fury. I believe there are countless emotes dedicated to the not doing of math on Twitch.
Well, see, I did the math beforehand, so I'm exempt.
Well, I am greatly appreciative of that because it means I don't have to. Alright, we're gonna get a check of Vanilla 1. It's not really gonna be anything. Another nice bomb drop here for Magic Friends. And it looks like Paratrooper is on her way to go check the Armos spots and the open caves on the other side of the map.
Yep, wasn't paying attention to see if she found the way to the grave Armos first, or if it's just I'm going to go check the area that has 3 still as opposed to 1.
I don't think I saw her scroll over that way. I know she checked the Armos statue, up the Death Armos, so maybe she's just figuring there's 1 over there and 3 over here.
Bit interesting on this dig now from Leslie Pro. I feel like just found that Triforce so quickly and is trying to fight through Lionel rooms as opposed to just taking the freebie.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's a dead giveaway that level 6 is going to make you come back for some unknown reason, it makes more sense to wait, get a few more items, some more hearts, and come back when you are better equipped to tackle it.
Yeah, I think after the blue Lionel gave Leslie the memo, Leslie decides the Triforce is good enough for now. We'll come back later.
Magic Friends finds level 5. Over in the grave.
Looks like the last Armos in the forest is probably going to be the answer. So I think Paratroopa has made it down into the forest and she doesn't have another item yet.
Magic Friend's got a wand.
Oh, well that's nice and shiny. That's probably
that
it.
might be our white sword item, yeah. And it would have to be over at the grave? Armos? The vanilla power bracelet one?
Yep, consolation prize for Paratroopa Blue Candle at the Take Anyone.
Pretty useful. She is right in the middle of the forest, so being able to burn all these things is definitely going to help not having to come back later. And we have a Dig Dogger trying to block the way here in level 5 for Magic Friends.
Might be guarding a map that early on.
Looks like Magic Friends is gonna go check some more of these open spots, possibly, or he's looking for a Canana key. I'm sorry. Or not a Canana key. He's looking to pirouette a door to see if there's any other way to go.
Yep. Appears not to be lucky enough to have another door to go through.
Well, I mean, he got an Armos item wand at like 5 minutes into the game, so that's pretty nice.
Yep, I'd finish off the grave routing and then maybe try and find a bomb dropper somewhere and try and tackle West Death Mountain while I'm up here, especially without a candle yet. There's no real other great value in the Dead Woods to go check.
I'm finding it a little bit curious that Magic Friends sees the potions letter, doesn't pick it up, but continues on to the grave and finds level 3. Now this should, oh look, free Triforce. Should be a lot nicer of a level to dig. It's a lot smaller. We've got a wand. Oh, look, never
We got
mind.
whiz
Those are
robes.
whiz robes.
I was waiting for that to happen. You were acting like this was going to be such a nice place to be. I was like, where are the whiz robes? Show me the whiz robes.
Yeah, they're here. They were hiding really well. So far we've got only 1 room of them. Chat's telling us that the large secret was 99 rupees.
Which means that we're not really going to be poor in terms of the secret money we get this season. 99's enough to make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you take a candle from a Take Any, you can buy all sorts of happy things. Or, I mean, you could just buy the candle as well. Oh, well, we found a banana here in this Wizrobe infested level 3.
Yep, the wand takes all the value out of the banana, pretty much.
Yeah, it really does. And thankfully, we can just do a quick up and A, and Magic Friends is going to get on the board with the Triforce from level 3.
Yeah, Leslie Pro is on the southeast bomb coast, and that's where the lowest dungeon is on the counter.
Okay, kind of makes sense to spend as much time in here as you can. We've got tanky bats, but otherwise there is a floor item, a staircase item, a heart, and a Triforce. Level 1, usually really nice to find. Though I find myself, now that the tournament is kind of like in full swing, I almost miss Heart Shuffle.
No.
Almost, because you could walk into level 1 and there could just be a free red ring just sitting there. Oh,
Well,
speaking of bomb upgrades, we have a $100 rupee bomb upgrade here in level 1.
yeah, I'm not sure if the red ring is what Leslie Pro is hoping for right now. I think in this room, if we could kill this room, which we're not going to this time, maybe an
Nope.
any key would probably be my favorite to find level 1 early.
We'll be curious to see if he tries to Kanana key that door. There were 2 different key doors, so it shouldn't be terrible to line up. Paratroopa is going to make it over to the Grave Armos and pick up her wand. Has to be relieved to see this.
Yeah, there's a lot of combat also involved in the key block game too, so with 3 damage to everything but Wizrobes already, you gotta always feel like that's a great thing to have.
Yeah, she's gonna get shuttered in with this Lionel room. I don't think it dropped anything when Magic Friends was in here.
No. Doesn't appear so.
Looks like she's also going to try to pirouette a door, maybe. Or she's just gonna continue searching.
Yeah, I'm not sure if 5's that high on the list of places you want to go quickly, so probably just decide I'm not going to try and spend all my one bomb trying to bomb around a little bit in here. Here, what really only works one direction, and since that was the screen we entered from, it was already done.
Oh, I thought given where they entered that you could try to get a door to the top of that one.
Yep, but if you come from the Grave Armos screen and go down the...
sorry, yes. Directions. So Magic Friends finds level 1. He's got the wand and 4 hearts. Sadly, not enough money to buy this bomb upgrade, but the wand is definitely going to help with all the enemies in here. Lionels, bunnies, Vires, all these things that you're going to have to stab multiple times with the wood sword. It's slightly less with the wand.
Yeah, Paratroopa, I think... we're not going to pull it off. I would be Kanana keying like crazy on that door.
Yeah, I probably would have thought about it the second after I killed everything in the room. And Cat says hi again, everybody.
That's not going to matter in the end, though, because Paratroopa will clear this room, find a boomerang in the staircase. I'm guessing she'll abandon and just go for the Triforce that was freely available.
Yeah, I think that's a wise play. It does look like she's gonna go pick up the boomerang. Maybe she wants to be able to stun some of the Lionels.
Stun Lionels, stun Gurias, stun mini Digdoggers that make not so wise choices, and yeah, still some use, just not the greatest thing that you're hoping to find level 3.
It looks like Magic Friends goes to the coast, and I probably missed everybody else, but it looks like we've got a magic key hanging out on the ladder spot. Paratroopa is going to go ahead and get her Triforce from level 3 and continue exploring.
Yeah, it's shaping up again like a really poor key seed just because of what we've seen already. I think that I would prioritize buying a key again really early, especially after what happened in Game 2. Just make sure you've got the money to buy the keys and don't worry about buying the rest of the stuff until after.
Finds a bomb wall here in the bottom of this red Lionel room, but sadly it's going to walk her straight into a Digdogger block and the need to bomb some more.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen this route before, and then this just doesn't work, and you've got that key door. Ooh, actually, we didn't bomb left. We only tried bombing down before. Fortunately,
I don't know. I think Magic Friends may have made it into this room, but I'm not 100% sure. Paratroopa doing a good job of stunning the Lionels and then following it up with the boomerang and then following it up with a wand shot. Unless I've been thinking of a room over in level 1, which is also a possibility.
let's see if it's an item. That'll tell us for sure. Oh, transport.
Oh, see, this is a fairly nice enemy set here in level 5. We've got a key just sitting out there on the floor. And we have the most dreaded boss in the game, the Rupee boss.
Yeah, I definitely don't think Magic Friend survived to get in the staircase because we're suddenly finding keys that nobody has found at all in this. So definitely a good dig so far, even if you don't find the item in here yet.
Yeah, if I'm Paratroopa, I have to be, well, I'd be thinking about doing a save after this. We got a Triforce hiding under a Gleeok, so Paratroopa's going to get the Triforce at a level 5. But I'd be thinking about doing a save and then just trying to hold on to those keys. Maybe save scum them a couple of times if necessary.
Yeah, I think it's time for her to clear this screen at least, try and get some bomb drops. I might venture into Death Mountain if I get 2 of them.
Sadly, we only got 1. Magic Friends is going to find a very pink level 4.
62 for the cheap key in the Blue Ring shop, by the way, so it's a very good price on that.
Yeah, she's almost got... Oh, well, we have your favorite item here in level 4.
Yep, the seed has gone bananas officially at this point.
I mean, it was trying to be kind. It gave us TGE and Fury SK's favorite weapons.
Kananaki! Oh, I was hoping Magic
See,
Friends would do it.
it's one of those things. Like, a lot of times, you don't actually think about it until you've already killed the enemy, and then you're like, oh, shoot, I should have tried that.
See, what I do is I think about Kananakis, and then I get hit in the face with a Lionel's sword or a boomerang or something, and I go back to start. I'm like the complete opposite. I think about those nice tricks and then can't execute them because I'm spinning in a circle going back to start.
Very, very true. Yeah, it's just one of those, like, either I think about it in time or I just don't. Oh. We have a segment at level 4. Leslie Pro's gonna find another Take Any. He's got 5 hearts.
Yeah, this reverse C just reeks of a one-off. I'm not surprised Magic Friends has given up on it already.
This fairy is playing hard to get with Paratroopa, as hard as she's trying to get it with that boomerang. And there we have a floor heart here in level 4. So Magic Friends is our first runner up to 6 hearts. Can definitely pick up the White Sword book, which is back at start. Though it'll be curious to see if they do, because it's going to make the wand shoot fire.
Yeah, you kind of have to, though. I mean, we're sitting here struggling to find the right bomb wall in a couple of these dungeons. I think you just cope with the fire.
Yeah, I probably would too, but people are stubborn sometimes. Gonna be curious to see where the well, I mean, it would definitely help right here. We're trying to find, there's a key door, which I think is like the last other door we've seen. Leslie
Ooh.
Pro clips into the blue boomerang and just nopes right out.
Paratroopa, meanwhile, routed back to the book. She got it on 4.
Very nice. That's a nice thing to have, game. Magic Friends finds level 7 in the top right-hand corner of the map. And it looks like we're Goma blocked, possibly.
Yeah, I would try to bomb out. It'd be kind of a weird 2-room segment thing here. You know, maybe we could bomb left, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we entered from the left on this bottom screen, I believe. So I don't think that's... Yeah, that one's not going to go, but that other upper left wall might work.
This is a really nice level 2, by the way. So we're missing just 8 as far as our dungeons, and that's absolutely the one that's blocked now.
Magic Friends decides to leave, and Paratrooper's going to find 9 for the first time. And by nice, it was totally a segmented level 2.
Yeah, it's nice.
In quotation marks. Oh.
Oh, now it's really nice.
Oh, look, it's our orange happy friends. There's our transport staircase, thankfully.
And this is, ooh, that's actually a great bomb because they spawn there. Yeah.
Does that mean they're squishy?
Yeah, well, it means it didn't roll up. I mean, that's always a plus.
Yes, very true. We don't have to stab them 80 gazillion times.
Magic Friends is playing around the HUD. I think you just go to the right and you got a clip. You're gonna do this. Do the clip. Nope, you're stuck right now. Yeah, I guess you can walk back around this to get out, but yeah, you gotta do the screen scroll there.
Was he trying to maybe open a door?
I don't think so. I think just trying to get around enemies and then gave up on it when it didn't work out.
Oh, I see.
Buy the keys.
Yeah, you've got the money. I mean, don't get me wrong, the blue ring is definitely tempting. But that's a really good key price, especially given what happened yesterday.
If you ask me what is the one thing that holds runners back on getting their times down in this tournament, I would say it's absolutely keys and not trusting their combat. I understand the blue ring is real nice and gives you some added defensive buffer, but I feel more compelled to money-making game my way to a blue ring if I'm really struggling than I would having to get keys, because that just feels bad.
This is a incredibly terrible staircase for it to drop you in level 2. Magic Friends is going to go back to start. He's going to get his book as well. Paratrooper's heading back in.
Now I was gonna say, now we know what we're walking into, so you can kind of prepare yourself for the setup you're gonna have. I would have a candle out, for example.
I probably would have done exactly what Paratrooper did, except for, well, died faster, maybe? Sometimes you can trick the Wizrobes into going either all the way up or all the way down, just by your movement on the screen. Sometimes. Not all the time. Most of the time, they're just jerks.
Yeah, with that spawn pattern, I think you go up to the northwest side of the reverse sea, have them come up there, and you burn yourself preemptively, so that if they fire on you, you still can go down off your candle burn. As we find 5 repeat bombs, that's nice.
That is fantastic, and it looks like Magic Friends went ahead, spent some of his money, and picked up wooden arrows. It's a smart play, especially with extra bosses on.
Wow, we actually managed to get around these blue Wizrobes that were being jerks, and we find Zelda's room, so we couldn't go anywhere that way.
Thankfully, the other wall does bomb, and it's going to give us a bomb refill, so, you know, not terrible.
Yep, gonna have to use a ton of bombs in this too, but we're making progress. And there's a Triforce.
I think the only room we did not see was the one that's kind of below this one, and maybe the one to the left.
Yeah, I don't know that we got any of the bottom 3 rooms of this top segment, so I think Paratrooper is going to make a, for lack of better terms, college try at this, and if it's zapped by Blue Wizrobes time, then maybe we're leaving.
Yeah, that would make perfect sense. Leslie Pro is also going to find level 2. He has a couple more hearts than Paratrooper, but he hasn't yet picked up that wand, which will only really help with like the pancakes and the keys, but it would still be better than just the wood sword.
And we took a Staphos spot there in that room this time, so Paratrooper made it a little bit further. If you're going to set this room up, I advise going into the top doorway and just barely peeking your head out, because then they won't spawn left or right. Yeah, evade.
It's a really good bomb wall there to be able to get out of the room.
This is where the wand will come in handy. You just go ahead and you take out these Zols and Stalfos, maybe even the pancake, and then probably bail out of the room and reset it and hope the blue has gone away.
Yeah, oh dear. Well, that room next door isn't much better.
Nope, but again, just play primaries and hope that you get rid of Wizrobes and keep Stalfos, maybe.
Leslie Pro finds a Patra towards the top of this level 2. I don't know if Paratroopa was up here, but he's doing a really good job of trying to take it out with the beam sword. So he may have hit the one orbital that keeps it. Nope, there we go. He's doing a great job. Because as Fred was talking about earlier today, Magic Friends buys a key, by the way. As Fred was talking about earlier today, apparently the Patraites all have a set function or a set pattern that they would follow. So there is the one that if you kill them, it will stop the Patra from either turning ellipsis or from expanding.
Yep, and then you can also get really unlucky and hit the one that quick spawns the next round of them. So it's it can go both ways. You can get really lucky and hit the right one, or you get really unlucky, hit the wrong one. They start expanding again after just one cycle around, and then you get destroyed by it.
Really nice job from Leslie Pro taking out this room of orange Wizrobes. He's not going to find anything, so it's now his turn to deal with that lovely and wonderful C shape.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that Paratroopa hasn't found her way down to level 1's location. I don't think it was Wizrobe infested, and with the amount of keys that she has, that's the ideal dungeon to kind of find at this point.
Leslie does a go! Leslie! Good job, Leslie. We've got the bow on the floor here in this level 2. I don't know that Paratroopa ever finished clearing that room, because that's the one where she got caught between the bomb wall and 2 sets of firing squad.
Yeah, it was one of those where she got lucky to get out because the bomb wall opened in time and didn't get beamed. Unfortunately, didn't think to come back until it was too late. And now we'll see when she actually goes back to 2. I would have to think it's eventually going to happen.
Yeah, it's a small dungeon, so it makes sense if you have the choice of digging a 6, 7, or 8 to go back and see what you're still missing in 1, 2, or 3. Magic Prince is gonna walk past the Triforce here in level 6.
Yep, and go down into the room that Leslie got Lionel beamed out of. It's potentially a staircase.
Gets a nice clock, thank you game. And Leslie picks up his Triforce here in level 2, finds level 9, and he's back to exploring. And we are somewhat ladder blocked at the moment. Really wise choice from Leslie here. He's got the bow. He's going to pick up arrows. This is definitely going to help if you run into a bunch of bunnies or other things inside some of these dungeons like Gomas.
Yep. As you said earlier, I think we might be Goma blocked out of a dungeon already, so that would be beneficial. We're going to find out in a second. I think that bomb wall has to exist now, though, to the left. I don't know that it will help much.
Yeah, it's either going to be... Nope, just an empty room, so it was the map.
Yeah, so officially hard Goma blocked out of 7. That's actually really helpful for Paratroopa, because she knows it's not going to contain the bow. So we're not going to have to search 7 until we find the bow. We might actually find Silvers before we even come back to 7. Who knows?
That would be helpful, especially as that's a blue Goma.
Or maybe it's a ladder.
Ooh.
Which would actually help Paratroopa even more, because there's likely going to be other ladder blocks that say you can't go through these dungeons.
Wait,
so...
wasn't that a 3-room segment, though? In
yeah.
this level right here? But how would a ladder help her if that's what's underneath the Goma?
because then you can't get the ladder without getting the bow. And so if you're blocked out of other
Oh,
dungeons, you kind of...
you're going for one of those things. Sorry. Yep, I'm a little slow on the uptake today.
No worries, I was just kind of thinking about what helps somebody who's missed a bow in a small dungeon go back to a faster mode, and it's situations where you get blocked out of other things, like if it's not a ladder, then maybe it's a power bracelet that guards a dungeon, such as a late, or raft, or a flute, with a dig dogger that guards something. Just anything that blocks a dungeon early and tells you that you can't go in can make you go back to other dungeons faster.
Yeah, the game is surprisingly really good at saying, hey, you get out and come back when you're ready. Magic Friends is back here in level 1. He uses his key to go a little bit further down. Leslie's gonna see the banana and just nope right away from it. And it looks like Paratroopa was farming the money that she would need for a blue ring.
Yeah, which is more fair at 4 keys. Certainly agree with getting the defense at this point. It may actually lead Paratroopa back to level 2 quicker again because she knows that she's having difficulty in there with the whiz robes and staying alive.
Yeah, those whiz robe rooms were no fun. We have a power bracelet. Well, Magic Friends is gonna have to come back, but it's level 1, so it's not too large. But we had a power bracelet hiding underneath that Gleeok.
Yep, it's knowledge. It's just a small walk.
And for all we know, it could be required. Oh, I did not see that before. That is a triple segmented level 4.
Yeah, fun times.
This one I kind of agree with you on. All right.
Get the one off. Give me the one off, please. Nope.
Making sure he's got it before he ups and A's out of that the Gleeok room, which was a good play. He's about to take a decent amount of damage from those fireballs. It looks like we are definitely key blocked from the Triforce here in level 1, and the staircase item, which is waiting for us at the bottom of this pile of jumpy bat people. Well, there we go. That is definitely an item you like to have early. We've got the ladder from level 1, which gives Magic Friends access to the any key off the coast.
Yep, I believe Magic Fence is probably going to clear this room and hope that the Triforce is not, like, Goma blocked or Dig Dogger blocked. And if they don't run straight to the coast, I will have questions.
Yeah, I think I think a lot of us would at this point.
Because the southeast coast is where this level 1 is. Hey, there's a ladder block. Fun times.
Well, thank you, Gabe, for giving us the item we need in the room right before it. This is quite the map here in level 5. It kind of looks like one of those tribal arts of a guy playing like a didgeridoo. And I'm waiting for somebody to ask me what that is.
I'm just trying to think of what it could be.
Leslie's gonna go ahead and use a key so that he can get into this room here in level 5. A didgeridoo is an aboriginal instrument that kind of looks, so it's traditionally made out of like a log of wood. And you hollow out the middle, so it's kind of a woodwind instrument. Gets his key back here in level 5. Alright, Paratroopa is back, or is continuing to work here in level 4. She's gonna go ahead and pick up the heart. And Leslie is gonna shoot the old man, because he's maybe setting up a bomb drop chance.
And there goes Paratroopa now with the blue ring, or blue boomerang knowledge in hand, and wearing a blue ring. Bailing on 4 because that's not the item we wanted.
No, I would definitely be looking for that bow, or at least I'd be most worried about the bow and the ladder. Alright, Magic Friends is clearing out the top west side of Death Mountain. And we've got silvers in level 5. Go Leslie Pro.
Yep, so this is the kind of seed Leslie Pro needed to have early to really put themselves in position to contend for this race and potentially advancing on.
And he takes the Gleox out with 2 shots of the wand. If I'm not incredibly bad at math, does that mean they rolled down?
I think they're still set on values 2 to 6, when I think they're supposed to be 4 to 8, so
okay.
Potentially, if Fred has not changed that to the correct valuations of them, or is leaving them as is, we might still have a normal setup, but it should be below average based on the normal HP.
Alright, but anyway, so Leslie's got a book, he's got a wand, he's got bow and silvers. I have to imagine that other than looking for the ladder, because I don't know if he has found that he's ladder blocked in 6 yet, the ladder, recorder, power bracelet, and or raft, he's going to be trying to get in and out of these dungeons as fast as he can.
Yep, I would just go until you run out of dungeons to find, and if you haven't run into items on the way, go back and dig.
Ah, sadly he's gonna get sniped by this blue Lionel. Those guys are jerks. I am trying to remember where level 2 was, and failing.
It's right next door to level 9 in the southwest.
Thank you. So sadly, Paratroopa heading in the wrong direction, but she doesn't know it yet, so still plenty of time.
Yeah, and level 1 is down here with said ladder, which would give any key, so it's not going to be for naught.
And would... Oh, hey, look, large secret of 99 hiding underneath a burn bush.
Yeah, and Paratroopa will find that bomb upgrade as well in level 1, should she go down to the coast.
Well, that would be really nice to have. She does have enough bombs to bomb it. I'm wondering if she's just clearing the rest of this and then gonna head that way.
If I remember correctly, she was up in the northeast already, because I believe we were on the Goma block with the map on her side.
Magic Friend's gonna head into level 5. I don't honestly remember where the silvers were, but he has ladders, so there really shouldn't be much to stop him in here.
Well, silvers to kill the beasts lie somewhere in here.
Yeah, but sadly we don't have helpful hints today.
I want to say it was in the middle, but not where that Triforce is.
Kind of hoping that the routing will kind of force him to go in the right direction. Leslie, still here in level 5, hasn't found the compass yet. He is still digging a bunch of these rooms. He doesn't have much left. It looks like he was in the Triforce room.
Could be a ladder block room, could be a Spiky with bad life decisions, could be a lot of things down there.
Yeah, Spiky is not known for making smart decisions lately.
Speaking of smart decisions, Magic Friends makes it through this Gleok. Finds silvers, knows that 9 dig is not in play.
And Paratroopa is at the same time going to find her ladder. Hopefully finishes out level 1, even though she doesn't have the compass to point her in the direction of the Triforce at the moment. But
Yeah,
we know it's right there.
have we seen the all the power bracelet spots? I know we've seen at least the one with the Any Road.
I don't think anybody's actually gotten around to checking them. Paratroopa, thankfully, is going to go ahead, kill the Vires, go into the next room, pick up her ladder block Triforce in the room next to the ladder. And then goes back in, which, if it is the power bracelet that is blocking our missing level 8, this is a good thing.
There's a small chance the Paratrooper won't immediately take this bomb upgrade as well, because it's right next to start. Or we just get +6 right away, which is also fine.
Yeah, that's a really nice bomb upgrade, I have to say. Is going to have to use at least one key here. I want to say she's got to go to the south.
Logically, the play should be to go to the south, just because there's more rooms available to the south. There's also a wall master we won't be able to kill, so might as well get forced into it.
Which is almost a shame that she still has 2 keys left, because she could have set up a Canada key. Gets the floor art here in level 1, which brings her to within 1 of a Mag's check. I'm not sure if we've seen Mags yet, though.
I haven't seen it yet, but I am known to miss a few things here and there.
Magic Friends is going to find his Triforce here in level 5, which was just sitting on the floor underneath the Gleok. And Blue Ring is doing nice work for Paratroopa here. She can just stand in the middle of this NSU and wail away on that Gleok.
Apparently Leslie saw Mags. Leslie also finds Ladder, and has 0 keys as well, so another person that's going to be very happy to have found Ladder right now.
Okay, Kairos, our tracker, pointing out that Mags is apparently in the desert cave. Leslie's gonna go ahead, clear out these Vires, and hopefully continue on to the next room and find his Triforce.
Yeah, with the Any key on the coast, I'm a little bit surprised that Paratroopa didn't just decide to go ahead and grab the wood arrows there.
Yeah, that would make sense, because then she's already bought the blue ring. I believe I've seen her scroll through a potion. Other than a meat block, there wouldn't really be a whole lot else that she would need to buy.
Yep, and you're still going to run into other money. I mean, we still got at least a handful of medium secrets out there that will, at 36 a pop, you can get over 100 with 3 of them. So it's definitely something to consider buying. There we
And
go.
it looks like, there we go. She's going to go ahead, go back, and pick up those arrows, which will help her out when she goes into level 2, especially if she hasn't gone back into level 5 yet.
Yep, old man was like, I don't know how I got to this cave before you from the other cave, but have these arrows again, please.
Magic Friends finds a Take Any, and he's to within 1 heart of being able to check Mags. And it looks like we've got a power bracelet check coming up.
Should be one of the last checks of the power bracelet spots. It's 8.
Wow, that is a really interesting looking level 8. I want to say that it's this weird famous statue that I want to say involves like oh, who's the god of the ocean in like Rome or something like that. He's like standing in the middle of a wave. Poseidon?
I was just going to go with like a Was it like a slugma? Is that what it was?
Slugma? Yeah, okay. I guess it's Slugma. Slugma also works. Magic Friends is going to take advantage of the fairy fountain as Paratroopa finds her level 8.
Hey, it
Yes,
kind of looks
Neptune
like
or
it.
Poseidon. Well, I mean, there's this like somewhat famous. Oh, look, another bomb upgrade. Somewhat famous statue of the guy just standing in the middle of water. Oh, good job, Paratroopa takes out the Manhandla. Well, we're not going back that other way anytime soon. Paratroopa has to be really careful not to walk into her own wand fire.
Yeah, if we take a death this deep in, I think the play is just to go ahead and go to the fairy fountain anyways, just because it'll give you so much more health to play with, and it's literally one screen away from your start, so we'll see if that's the play, should we die.
Finds a transport here in this level 8. It's gonna be curious to see where it takes her. Oh, well.
Oh.
See, the thing is I would have cleared that room.
I probably would have too, but it's pretty difficult on half a heart to...
Yep, but she has potion.
Yeah, maybe just a percentage play, hoping that it's not going to be the Triforce or Compass.
True, I mean, there's always the chance that it's absolutely nothing, but that room kind of likes to drop all sorts of fun stuff. Alright, Magic Friends is going to find the same staircase. It'll be curious with slightly more hearts to see if he goes ahead and kills the Gleeok when he gets to the other side. Alright, sadly it's nothing but money, but at the very least we now have the information that that is not our Triforce or our Compass, and it's a perfectly useless staircase. I'm trying to figure out if maybe Magic Friends... Oh, we've got a recorder here in level 8. If Magic Friends had, buy the bomb upgrade?
Magic Friends bought the upgrade in this level 8, yes.
Okay, because I thought he had a lot more money, and then I was just looking at it and trying to resist the urge to do math. Oh look, Petra!
Yeah, he had more bombs too, and then Manhandle happened.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna find a Manhandla and have to take him out, there's no better time than when you have just bought a giant sack of bombs. All of our runners are here in level 8 at the exact same time. So it'll be curious. Leslie Pro has the bow and silvers, so I have to wonder if he's going to be like, I found the Triforce, I'm leaving, I don't care what else is in here. Because from our other two runners' perspective, they're still missing the bow. One of them is still missing the arrows. And it's very true. You might end up needing the recorder, but there's always the chance that you don't.
Yeah, I would definitely feel more comfortable if I found the recorder in here, but I could see just leaving once we find the Triforce and hoping.
I mean, hey, occasionally it works out.
I feel like Paratroop is eventually going to find the second item, though. We've run into a couple different false push block rooms. Here's the one we're looking for. What we got?
Well, alright, I guess. I mean, it's not really going to be very useful, but we found it. It's sadly we have found all of our levels in level 9. Magic Friends takes a bop from this Patra and is gonna go all the way back to start. Oh, Spiky, you made poor decisions, like guarding that compass. So it looks like there is another Patra in the middle of our path. Leslie Pro finds the staircase that's going to take him to the Gliok.
Not the worst room to have to combat to get your Triforce out of this 8.
Now, he's going to take a death, but thankfully it was to the fireball after the Gliok had already died, so if he was going to drop anything important, you would have actually seen it on the floor before you did the whole, spiral back to start thing. Or at the very least heard the sound. And it looks like this is another ladder block Triforce here in level 8. Paratrooper's gonna pick it up, and you have to just wonder, when is she going to go back to try to find that bow for level 6? This is, oh, I'm sorry, was it level 7 that was, yeah, I'm sorry, it was level 7 that was blocked by the Goma.
Yep, level 7's the one that Paratrooper will not be able to get into.
So it almost works out for Magic Friends that he never got the Triforce out of 2, so he's going to have to go back no matter what.
Now, Paratrooper's going to clear a lot of the 6, but has a good Triforce lead going at the moment here, so it's... I think she'll be able to make a small comeback in terms of time here. It's just a question of how long will it take Leslie to find the Triforce in this 8 without being able to kill the Dig Dogger for the compass yet.
We've got the raft for Magic Friends. He's also going to walk over and pick it up, which makes me curious. Maybe he hasn't seen all the levels yet?
I don't think that Magic Friends, when they initially found level 9, had routed into the Sword Cave, nor had they routed into bombs, so I'm thinking level 2 is probably what Magic Friends is missing.
Oh, okay, so he thinks that maybe it's on the raft spot. That makes perfect sense.
Yep, doesn't want to dismiss the raft for the, 8 to 10, maybe 12 seconds it costs until having all dungeons, so definitely practical to do that.
Paratrooper is going to find the transport staircase here in level 6. It takes her from towards the beginning all the way down to the end of this, trolley bed. And this Patra is, sadly, Magic Friends doesn't know it yet, but this Patra is directly blocking where he needs to go.
Troll Dongo's gonna troll.
Yeah, because amazingly, they can walk up on top of this block. Nobody else can, except for Link, but, they can. Magic Friend's gonna go pay another visit to this fairy fountain, which makes perfect sense. It's right there. You should go ahead and take advantage of it. Paratroopa is gonna find the compass here
Oh.
in level 6. Oh! Oh, thank you, game.
That is no fun at all.
How is that not fun? That is like the best sword in the entire game.
Too free.
I mean, they didn't get it at 20 minutes.
I have to go find my fellow runner who loves his 14 heart mags, and we'll have to
File an error report. Yeah, see, if I'm Magic Friends, would just be really, really excited right now because this is going to make this a lot easier, especially on this Patra. And I like that. We have chat saying that 6 kind of looks like a drill press. Now, Magic Friends is going to find his compass, and wow, that was a squishy dick dogger or a really good sword. I'm not sure which. I like that answer, Kairos. Now, with the compass, Magic Friends is just going to power straight through the Patra. He's got enough health to be able to do it. You have to imagine he's not going to be clearing these rooms. He's just going to go. Paratroopa continuing to look for what I have to imagine is the bow here in level 6. Though given what we have left, we've got the red candle, the red ring, the white sword, or the container heart. I think 2 of those you're probably relatively okay with.
You could make the argument that 3 of the 4 are useful. I think at 12 hearts you would probably consider Magical Sword a worthwhile check, so you wouldn't love the pickup, but you probably would take the adventure down the staircase and pick it up.
Yeah, that does definitely make sense. Alright, Leslie Pro hasn't been able to kill the Dig Dugger, but is working his way in the direction of the Triforce, and has the ladder, so he's going to be able to clear this room to get it.
Looks like Paratroopa has made it all the way back to the staircase they found originally.
Alright, so Magic Friends, he already has silvers. I don't think he's got a potion, but he didn't pick up the potions letter. He has enough money to pick up Blue Ring. Do you think he's actually going to go for it?
I would think it's a perfectly reasonable play to do so.
I mean, because what else is he going to spend his money on at this point?
I don't know if we've seen them mugger in a dungeon to this point, so we might be able to pay off a mugger as opposed to something else. I don't know. There's a couple different things you could look for, I suppose, but nothing really stands out to me other than the blue ring.
I mean, it would make sense. It's also going to, with mags, it's going to speed up the rest of your run a lot.
Apparently it was a bomb or 2 key for the bunker that I
okay.
did not see.
Bubbles not being the kindest to Paratroopa here in level 6, but let's see if this is the staircase room we haven't found yet. Yep.
That's about the worst of the remaining items.
Yeah, sadly that was a really big dig, but hopefully this is going to send Paratroopa back to, I want to say level 2 and level 5. Because I want to say I remember her seeing both of the boomerangs.
Yes.
Alright, here we go. So she doesn't know it, but this is definitely going to help. Level 5 has her silvers, which will then just leave her with level 2 to go looking for that bow.
Well, Leslie's gonna get through level 7 before Paratrooper can ever get into level 7, but Leslie also has to go back and redig a couple of things. So it's gonna take a little bit of time for Leslie to get into 9, and I think in the end they'll both probably get there close to the same time.
So what happens to your math if they finish first and second? Does it matter which one finishes first and second? Are either of them eliminated, or would it just go straight down to the time?
So the only finish that really matters for this is if Magic Friends happens to finish in between them, that's where time no longer really impacts it. So Leslie has to win to be able to catch Para on points. That's like the key point there. And then it's just down to time from there.
Paratroopa is going to head back into level 2 with blue ring, a bunch of hearts. Sadly, she's got 12 bombs, so that'll definitely help in that orange wizard room.
Yeah, it's just average time, I think, is tiebreaker, which is the sum of 3 times, so you take that divided by 3. So I'm just looking at the sum of them, and it looks like it's a minute and change. Again, it's like a minute and 30, some odd minute and 40.
So it has the potential to be incredibly, incredibly close.
If you're a fan of just good races in general, you're really hoping that they enter 9 about the same time, and it just comes down to a 9.
Well, that would definitely be interesting for chat. Paratroopa gonna go ahead and use the potion, remembering that this is about to drop her into a reverse sea full of not friendly people.
Yep. And as long as she goes down first here, then she's gonna find red whiz robes, and with bombs in hand, I think you just don't even waste time, you just bomb like crazy. Yeah, here we go, here's bombs in hand.
Yeah, they were definitely going down to bombs, so that would be the smart play. Alright, we've got the bow for Paratroopa, which is going to let her go to level 7 and get her last Triforce.
Yeah, worth noting that Leslie Pro still has not even gotten to the Triforce in 7.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it's going to be a magic bomb wall staircase shenanigans.
Yeah, Paratroopa is heading straight to 7, just has to find the nearest flute spot.
As Leslie tried, he has tried bombing several of the walls to the south, and it is just not letting him go anywhere. Alright, we've got the Triforce out of 4 for Magic Friends. And Leslie doing a very good job of bombing these Wizzrobes and then using the ladder to get out of the way.
Oh, this is a very fun room on No Ring.
Leslie does a great job of taking out those landmines. As Magic Friends enters level 7, now he's about to find that he is Goma blocked.
It looks like Leslie is still searching, which leads me to believe that we haven't found all the dungeons on Leslie's side as well. Which would mean level 4 really is the only spot, unless we're looking for Red Ring or something in here.
Yeah, maybe? I know he saw both of the boomerangs, so he's seen 3 and 4. And he has silvers, so he's seen 5. Do you think maybe he's looking for hearts?
Well, the bait block changed the mines really quick.
Para picks up her last Triforce, and she is off to level 9.
It's basically a full dungeon clear, save for level 7's item, in about 65 minutes or less. So that's not a bad clear rate.
Yeah, it's much, much more friendly than yesterday.
And I think this is just a quick bomb upgrade play to 20, and that's it.
Yeah, I kind of like this one.
Then we're going to leave so we continue with full health and go flute to level 2 probably, and then head to 9 would be my guess. Oh, there's Mags right
I
here.
like this. This is a good play. We're gonna go ahead and check Mags. Now, this is gonna definitely be a great thing.
Now we're fluting to 2.
Yeah, we are now loaded for bear. We've got 20 bombs, the any key,
Bananas.
a ton of health. We don't really need bananas.
Oh, I thought, no, there's just bananas flying on the screen.
I know. I'm just messing with you, Fury. I mean, what fun is comms if I don't get to annoy my comms partner?
They're the wrong color, too.
Yeah, well, sadly, Paratrooper picked up the banana instead of the blue banana. Because it's one of those nice little touches about the guys carrying the boomerangs. When you pick up the magical boomerang, they get an upgrade as well.
I thought I heard something weird off the start. Maybe it was just me, though.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah.
It's a roar.
Well, that's a really nice level 9.
I was thinking about, like, why are we not turning around, or am I just bad? But nope, we found it.
Now, Blue Ring and Potion and Mags is definitely, you know, should make this a very nice fight. Paratrooper gets the stun lock. Now, I'm trying to remember if the Gleeok in level 4 is the one that was sitting on top of the Triforce.
Gonna say 5 was the one.
I know one of them was, and that I had thought that Leslie was in the room, but I'm not 100% certain.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Gleeok in 5 is the one that's being a little bit trolly.
Go down, magic friends. You don't need to clear this room. I mean, you can, but there's no reason to. Yay, we've got a bow for magic friends. He's going to thankfully find a bomb wall so he doesn't have to go back up through the staircase room, and should have his Triforce here in just a moment.
Yeah, this is a really tame level 9 enemy set as well.
Well, I mean, we should totally root for Ruby bosses and Manhandlas.
Yeah. Mugger's not of any note with the any key, unfortunately.
Alright, so we're kind of working our way around the outside of the map. I don't know that we've really taken a staircase yet.
Nope. There's also not too many rooms left as far as the bottom, the southwest, nor really the northwest at this point. I think all we can do is go up through the shutter and look around a little bit, and it's almost exclusively eastern side of this 9.
So, when you're in level 9, what do you prefer? Are you going to be taking every single staircase you can find, or are you going to do a more systematic, like, side-by-side?
Up until
side.
Up until the update where 9 got joined in with 7 and 8's grid, I was ignoring staircases for the most part. I might take 1 or 2 just to get me into a completely different area for some movement, but it was just go with bombs and just walking. And now, because 9s love to be really small and really fractured, I just take every staircase and map them out so I know what's what.
Hey, I'm still in the take every door until the game stops giving me doors. Alright, Leslie is on his way to pick up the Triforce out of level 5. Magic Friends is just a bomb wall or so away from his Triforce here in level 7. Or, I'm sorry, Transport Staircase. He's got to kill these guys. Yay! Disco floor room! Gotta be a little bit careful here, Magic Friends. I don't remember seeing if he grabbed a potion out of a take any or not.
At this point, I think it's time we just kind of bail out of this general area of 9. We up A, because there's that right door at start, and we're going to feel really silly if it's not like a 6-room 9 if you go that way or something crazy.
Yeah, it's always one of those, oh, well, I guess I should have checked. Leslie is sadly going to take a death on his way to the Triforce here in level 5.
GG times, though.
Alright, everybody, get your GGs in chat for Paratroopa, who is finishing with a race time GG time of 1:11:29.
Yeah, Magic Friend's about to get the same news. This 9 was incredibly free to Ganon, at least.
Makes really short work of Ganon, and let's see what direction he ends up going. Welcome and GG's to Paratroopa.
Hey, GG.
GG. So, how relieved were you to see that the any key was very, very accessible?
I literally just out loud I said LOL. I was just like, yeah, okay, cool. The seed was not a problem, fortunately.
Yeah, it looked like a much happier thing than yesterday.
I'm actually a little bit surprised by how far ahead I am. I thought I lost a lot of time in level 6, but it seems like I'm okay.
Well, go ahead, Fury.
So, you found the flute in 8, which led you to the Dig Dogger blocked compass, which led you to the Triforce.
Mm-hmm.
I think Leslie Pro saw every single room of level 8,
Oof.
bar none. And Magic Friends, I think, missed 1 room, maybe 2.
Ah. Oof. Okay, I see. Yeah, 8 could have taken a long time if you went the wrong way.
Like, you didn't have the crazy good level 8 that you only saw, like, 10 rooms and got everything and got out, but you definitely did not see every room.
No, I got the 2 items in there pretty quickly, too, which was good, because I was definitely looking for a lot of items at that point. I felt like I really wrong ordered the seed really badly. Like I bought the wooden arrows, but then found silver arrows in 5, and then the bow in 2. But those are both kind of hard to get to, so I guess the other players probably didn't find them right away either.
Yeah, to be fair, Magic Friends had to go back into 2 as well, because he also didn't manage to kill the orange Wizrobe room. The only person who has had bow and silvers pretty much the entire game is Leslie Pro.
I think my favorite moment of this seed is when I was trying to fight that room, but then I obviously got cornered and was gonna die, so I just left. I just made a quick escape to the east and got out of there. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to come back and finish it off.
Yeah, it was a perfect valid choice. I mean, with you didn't really have a combat upgrade for the Wizrobes yet. I think you were kind of short on bombs, so it was either get out of the tight spot or have to go through that reverse C-shaped room full of all those lovely people.
Yeah, there were a couple more rooms I could have explored into, because there were a couple more rooms that had blue Wizrobes in them, and then there was also a room that's key blocked, and I was like, I don't think that's a good idea to go into, and it turned out to not be. Because I wanted to save my keys at the time, so I had to leave too and come back. But fortunately, I got the recorder before I really needed to come back, and that helped me get there more quickly.
Yeah, that was really, really efficient. I can totally words. Efficient use of using the recorder to go around and finish cleaning up things at the very end of the game. And you made chat very happy because you were the only person that went and picked up a boomerang.
Oh, that's great. That was my other favorite moment, was I had a fairy in Death Mountain that I tried to boomerang for full 10 seconds.
Yeah, that fairy was speed
failed. Yeah. I used the boomerang I used the boomerang usefully twice in this seed, I think. Once to stun a Lionel and another time to pick up a bomb. That's about it.
Yeah, you were in I think it was a 5-pair room full of Lionels, and you blue Lionels, and you were doing a really good job of stunning them and then hitting them with the wand.
It helps a little bit just to kind of slow them down a bit.
Yeah, crowd control is a beautiful thing. And I don't mean the evil program that we torture Prim and Rick and everybody with.
GG number 2 incoming, though.
Yep.
Yay!
I was really worried that there was going to be a magic staircase to the north, but that ended up not being the case, happily.
Yeah, what's really slowing Leslie down now is that Triforce location in that room in 5 is not great for seeing. It's really kind of underneath the belly of the Gliok, and I don't think that Leslie Pro has noticed it. So we've taken a few deaths now trying to combat it down instead of just taking it.
Yeah, just walking in and grabbing it. Because the first time he was here in level 5, he was in the Triforce room because I saw it on his map. But if everybody could go ahead and get some GGs in chat for Magic Friends, he finished with a race time GG time of 1:15:38, and welcome in GG.
Hi, friends.
Hey, GG.
So how happy were you to see the Eniki was very nice and out in the open?
Yeah, that was definitely a big selling point for the seed. But you had to find a key to get it out of one. I couldn't find a key out of any dungeon that was a good starter key to get me going, so I actually bought my very first key.
Yeah, Fury was debating if you were going to go ahead and buy keys early on in the game, and Paratroopa actually was, for the longest time, the only one of you to actually have got keys. I want to say you got them in either 4 or 5?
4, I'm pretty sure.
I found a couple in 4 and a couple in 5, I think.
Because yeah,
tried to save them.
Yeah, it was a very wise choice. Because the other guys, it took them a while to actually start stacking up keys.
Yeah, I found one pretty late too, which is another thing I was worried about, because that had the ladder which led to the any key, and the power bracelet which leads to 8. But it turned out to be not so bad, I guess. Probably everyone kind of checked the coast late, I'm guessing.
I don't think mine was that late. My biggest the real reason I was behind was I checked bottom left corner without any bombs. I went there first and then cycled back around and found my wood sword at that really easy spot. So yeah. I'm 100% last location to level 2.
Yeah, okay.
If that level 2 doesn't open, it's an X somewhere on my tracker, and I'm running around checking every single spot I've already checked.
Oof,
Oh.
yeah. I didn't quite 100% this overworld. There was a few locations I had left, but that one I waited until I had bombs for that one.
So Leslie Pro just enters the Ganon fight. Unfortunately, he is still on green tunic and wood sword. Even though
Yeah,
he
it
went in
hurts.
with full health, he took a couple of pile drivers.
That's rough. I only checked mags at 12 when I got it.
It was
I
a
don't know what
tenner.
it is.
It was a tenner. I've got it at 10.
Oh wow, okay, 10. Yeah, I had 12
Yeah.
hearts.
Yeah, the seed was incredibly kind in some ways tonight.
I walked into 8, and like 2 rooms into 8 is a heart container, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go see. And sure enough, like that put me from 9 to 10, and I picked it up. I'm like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, it definitely made the rest of your time in 8 go a lot faster. Leslie is on his now 3rd try for Ganon, trying to see if he can get that stun lock in. I don't believe he has a potion.
This spawn's very generous.
Yeah, this is a lot better.
Yeah, this fight's difficult with green wood. You really have to get that stun lock or you're in trouble. I had blue ring. I was very fortunate with money in this seed because I did get the blue ring at a convenient time. I bought the arrows, but then even though that wasn't needed, I was still able to get both bomb upgrades, so that was nice. It kind of all worked out. It fell into place at the right time.
Oh, there you go, Leslie. Manages to get the stun lock for most of the fight, loses it
Hey.
towards the very end, but still comes out on beep strats to get the kill
Nice
on
fight.
Ganon.
Nice fight.
Yeah,
And then is going to wisely leave the room and up an A to get a little bit more health back.
well, it's only 1 score away, so
Yeah, I thought that was. I was like, oh, this is nice. This is cool.
I didn't even hear Ganon before I was in his room.
Yeah, this is actually one of the things I picked up from Fury. I was watching one of his races at some point, and he was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna walk up into 9, one room up when he found it, and see if he could hear an immediate Ganon."
Oh, that's funny. I actually went west and fought that Patra to see if that was Zelda's room. I could just fought Ganon instead and come back. Oh well.
Well, I mean, it worked out in the end,
It did.
and we got the grand tour of level 9, so that was cool. I mean, other than a couple of rooms, the enemy set wasn't too horrible.
How long were you in 9, Para?
Not very long.
Mine feels like it was pretty... I did not take any staircases to get to Zelda. I just went,
Neither did I.
yeah, straight north and then cut across and then came back down, find her.
Yeah, I went north, and then I explored the northwest corner a bit, and that didn't lead me anywhere. That kind of wasted a little bit of time, so I had to fight some blue dark nuts and a Patra, etc. Speaking of Patras. But then I finally went east. I took 1 staircase, I think, and then ended up going east, and it really didn't take me that long at all.
Yep.
I had 20 bombs going in, so that wasn't a problem.
Yeah, that was one heck of a bomb upgrade.
They're
Yeah,
both
I-
easy to find, too.
Yeah, it was actually a really heads-up play, stopping at level 8, I believe it was, to pick up the second bomb upgrade before you went into 9.
Yep, had enough money to do it. Still have silvers left over.
All right, Leslie sadly takes a death to this Patra. At this point, I would be tempted. You're kind of close to the fairy fountain. You don't have a ring or anything like that. You don't have a potion. I don't know if you picked up the potions letter, but I'd almost want to visit the fairy fountain just to get a little bit more health going in.
You can also record her back down to 2 pretty quickly.
Right,
Yeah,
that
actually a
makes it
good
really
point.
simple.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure. I never saw Leslie get the recorder, so my assumption
Oh,
is
yeah,
Ooh,
he
the recorder's
doesn't-
not
yeah.
required.
He doesn't
True.
have it.
That's unfortunate. With Leslie's current resource situation, I'd probably go pick up a potion if Leslie has the letter, which I don't know.
I can't remember if I saw him pick it up. I know Magic Friends did not.
Really?
Yeah, I usually don't pick up letter because I am still getting comfortable. I don't know why. I've been using Select Swap for like 5 years, and I still have to go like one thing at a time. So it really bogs me down when I have the letter in my inventory because I'm starting to get used to where things should be, but I just
I
haven't
see.
started accommodating for the letter when I'm hitting Select. So like, if I need to switch to the Wander real quick and I end on letter and I'm like trying to stab with the letter.
Okay, I see.
I mean, there has been talk in the suggestions area of turning the letter into a lesser boomerang.
You throw a piece of paper at people.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a newsboy. Isn't there a video game where you played a newsboy and you chuck
Paperboy.
papers? Yeah. I mean, you just gotta chuck those at like somebody's porch. It'd be cool.
No, why not?
I mean, stranger things have happened. Look at Final Fantasy, one of them, where the end boss turns into like 20 different things. That cracks me up. Like, I swear I saw the Starship Enterprise once.
What? I don't know
Yeah.
what this
Yeah,
is.
you probably the Zero Miss fight.
Yeah, it's
everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Sadly,
Yeah.
I've never actually completed a Final Fantasy game, so that's about all I know.
So how aware were we of our situations going into this race? Was everyone pretty much aware of what they had to do, or
I
didn't have
think
to?
we were talking about it last stream, in that, in theory, anybody could move on from the group. If Leslie came in first and I ended up like forfeiting the seed, then Leslie still could have moved on. But as it is, me and Para are moving on.
Well, Leslie just beating me would have worked too. That was basically what it came down to. You had it pretty well locked up, but either me or Leslie could have moved on.
Yeah, officially Magic Friends advanced no matter what happened in the sea, because plus 30 was the most that could happen, and both Paratroopa and Leslie are more than 30 minutes behind you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even on the averages, you would not have been caught on either situation. The
Yeah,
Paratroopa
it
versus
would've-
Leslie was interesting, because Para could either advance just by beating Leslie Pro outright, which is what happened, or losing by under a minute and 43 seconds would have been enough as well.
Yeah, it was
That's
really
funny.
close. I knew that the only way I could lose is by not forfeiting. So I think that did play a little bit of into my head, in that I was just being a little bit overly careful to make sure that I didn't mismark anything. I paused a couple of times more than I normally would to just like make sure that I was marking things properly, because I'm like, as long as I don't stop paying attention to the timer and mismark something, I should be able to finish this in a time that gets me out.
Yeah, I want to say it just defaults to that 30 minutes too, otherwise you would reward forfeiting, so I'm pretty sure that's what would have happened.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that part. I just assumed that like it would be like Scout's Honor. Like if I went to 45 and then was like, oh wow, I really screwed that up, then I'd just be like, okay.
Yeah, pretty sure that's the way it works. We won't find out today though, so it was definitive by virtue of points.
I think Magic Friends is officially the winner of this group. I don't know if that matters, but I think
Nope.
that based on average time, yeah.
First
Still
and
means
second
that
really
they're
have,
the winner.
yeah, first and second have no real impact at all on the next one. Just I guess bragging rights, which is not worth much for this. Just to know that you've won the group, I guess, gives you a little bit of confidence. But
Yep.
Next round, first and second again won't really matter. You'll be facing the person that's across from you on that one. So it's whoever finishes first faces the second place finisher, and whoever finishes second faces the number one in that group.
Oh, okay. So when we go, so is that so? The next group we have is Random Effect, Alsoa, and the two of us. Does that mean that whoever finishes first plays second? So like, if Alsoa and Random Effect come in first and second, they play each other immediately afterwards? Ooh.
Leslie finds a compass here in this level 9, which at least tells him that he needs to get all the way to the other side of the map.
Oof.
Yeah, so
it's helpful but not helpful all at the same time.
so this is group. I want to say this is group 30 that we're in here.
Oh my god, that's so many groups.
So with that in mind, it's region. You basically go to number 47, and 47. Whoever comes out of that group literally plays in a bracket from that point forward against the other one, and then the winner of that goes into the one that came out of the groups 31 and 32, and you just kind of bracket forward from there, like a traditional March Madness bracket or whatever.
That's the compass.
Yeah, the compass it's helpful, but he hasn't found. I want to say you guys both worked your way kind of up underneath around the L, and that's where you found that right side stair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my route took a lot of bombs. I think I went in with 14 and ended with something around like 5 or 6 bombs.
Yeah, I used a lot of bombs as well. There were not a lot of doorways. And I don't know how Leslie is doing on bomb count, on max bomb count here, so...
Does a really good job of taking out this Patra. And
that was a nice
bombs.
fight.
Yeah, that was such a good fight. Let's hope he can bomb up here. Oh, game.
Yeah, I think it's... Well, I mean, there's always a chance that there's a staircase that'll take you up into that little area as well, below Zelda, in that pathway.
There were plenty of staircases on the way over there. I just... and a lot of them were actually just open staircases, so... there's a good shot something pops up over there.
Yeah, I was asking Fury earlier, and I'll ask you guys too. So, given the new 9s since the remake, are you more of a take every staircase person, or are you a I'm going to take every single door I can possibly take until there aren't any?
I personally am a take every staircase person. The only reason I didn't do it this seed was because Ganon was a free kill. But as long as Ganon's not a free kill, I'm taking every staircase. My theory is that staircases get worse as you go, because when you pop out of a staircase, you can hear up to 4 different directions for Ganon. But as you start clearing more of the map, it's less likely that you're going to pop out in a section that you haven't already been. So,
staircases also require a lot more backtracking if you've gotten to the point where you need to go look for them, and that can be kind of bad. And not to mention that, you can take redundant staircases because you don't know which ones connect to where. Mm-hmm. Whereas you can avoid redundant staircases if you take them immediately. That said, if I have all the items I need, I usually just take doors anyway.
The one drawback that we talked about this before, and I think it was like, or maybe it was in a cast I was doing, but really taking all the staircases gives you better average times in 9, but worse best times in 9.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. This is a case where I felt like I needed a best time, so I just went for the doors and hoped for the best. It worked out.
Yeah, in situations like for me, I would normally take all of them except for that I just was like, there's so many shutter doors right at the start of the game that I just kind of was getting baited by them. Like, well, maybe the next door has a shutter door. And so, but usually if I'm a weekly, I'll try to just go through the doorways. But if I'm playing head-to-head against people, I usually take the staircase. Also with a little bit of caveat that I know a lot of the best runners just try to do the up and down method where you kind of like get entire strips going up or down cleared. So by taking a different method, it gives me a chance to like skip ahead of somebody if there's only like a 1 or 2 minute difference.
Yeah, Leslie finds the mugger room where I think both of you took that right-hand door.
Yes.
So he's killing the snakes.
I did go to the left, actually, and searched this area first before moving on. Because Zelda could have been over here. She just wasn't.
We are on major beep strats at the moment.
I'm starting to actually think that in shapes it might be better to take every staircase in 9, because I'm starting to feel like 9 in shapes has a lot of partitions. I don't know if that's just me.
Yeah, it kind of feels like we've had a lot of magic bomb wall, hiding the one staircase that you need type shenanigans.
Yeah, it seems to happen a lot, and I think part of that is that shapes could create a lot more narrow hallways like you see on the right side of this one.
My feeling, I think, would be that if you have a 9 that's sized like this, where it's not as compressed as it can be from the 7 and 8 shapes, then you can be okay maybe with not taking as many stairs as we saw in this one. None were really required. But once it gets really compressed, I feel like the bomb walls get removed a little bit more often, and because of the narrow paths, your frequency for having to take a stair goes up. So that's kind of what my thought process is when I'm in here.
That's an interesting theory, yeah.
The other thing is, like, I passed at least 6 chances of staircases. 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
All right,
there
let's
was
see,
6
you got
rooms
one
that
bomb.
could have been it. So
Bomb.
there were 6 rooms that could have been a staircase.
Bomb right, Leslie. You can do it.
Yeah, I saw 5 rooms that could be staircase, and I actually took one of them and ended up going like 2 rooms to the right, which actually did help me at the time. I didn't check this one.
For what it's
Alright,
worth,
come on, Leslie. Bomb right.
Get that heart.
for what it's worth, I would check the staircase here and like just any open staircase in Leslie's situation, specifically because of basically full knowledge of most every other dungeon's items outside of level 8s, and you know it has to be Recorder and Raft if you've tracked it properly enough. So with that in mind, you have a 66% chance of this being Red Ring and White Sword.
But we know that where he bombed to the right is the path to Zelda.
We do know that, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's got to take it back anyway, so it's not a huge deal yet, as we were down here earlier.
Is this no important items in 9? I didn't really check that.
Yeah,
okay, that's good to know.
Well, it also has to be no important because there has to be an overworld block, so you can't have any of the things that could be an overworld block in 9.
There has to be an overworld block?
Yes,
Yep.
it either has to be a dungeon or the White Sword item.
Oh, I didn't know about that flag. That's new. Huh.
Yep, it's a fairly new flag.
That explains why there's been so many overworld blocks in the runs I've done.
I kind of like it as a flavor flag for first quest overworlds. It's second quest.
A little spice.
I like it more than what they were doing with the what they did with the last tournament was like a lot of the bracket stages had all of the dungeons at the vanilla locations, but it was like random what dungeon was where.
Oh, yeah.
Ow. Sadly, Leslie gets sniped by a snake. He's going to get sent back to start, but he is out of bombs. And if I remember correctly, there were some maybe orange wizrobes along the way.
Red dark nuts are, I think, on the way at some point. But
Something that drops bombs.
Can Leslie go back for one of the bomb upgrades? He has enough money for it.
Yeah, I don't remember if he actually saw them. Because I think he's going to need another bomb to the right again.
The one in 8 you can't miss because it's actually the only room you can go in when you walk in. But also without the recorder, it's a long walk back to 8.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure as well that 8 is the one that he took. I think the one he didn't take was in level 1, if I remember correctly.
I figure Leslie has to spend his money on something, so he's on Blue Ring.
Yeah, he bought a bomb upgrade, and I think Leslie out of everyone saw the least overworld, so I think there's another large outstanding somewhere even.
Okay.
He decides he's going to go ahead and take the staircase. It makes sense. It could drop you really... Okay, this is good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the Patra, but...
There's one more staircase that's on the way here. I think it's another kind of annoying room, but you can take it and see where it goes. And it just ropes in the way. Maybe we'll get a corner drop even. I forgot what was in this room.
I don't think I took this staircase. There was a corner drop, but it wasn't bomb, sadly.
Though, I have to say, really nice bomb price.
Oh, hey.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Spicy path here. I'm happy that we found this, actually.
Go,
Let's get
Leslie,
out.
go.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't think I noticed before. It was definitely a ladder block Zelda.
Yeah, that's true. Ladder was required.
All right.
Actually required before 9.
Let's go ahead and get your GGs in chat for Leslie Pro, finishing in third with a time of 1:37.51.
Yeah, I think I counted until 3 big ladder blocks of the seed, but it was at least a free enough ladder in one. Just get one key and you're good.
There was definitely a room I had to go through that had a Chevy. At least. one
Okay,
Chevy.
yeah, you might be right.
Waiting to see if Leslie's going to join us here in a minute.
Yeah, commenting something that I kind of surmised based on the combating of the Gliok in 5. It's probably the worst room in that specific dungeon to have to fight the Gliok because you can't see what's under it unless you're really paying attention. You can barely see the bottom of the Triforce in this case, but you could also barely see like a key or a compass. So, just an unfortunate location, as I think we're joined by Leslie Pro.
Yep, GG, and you just explained it real well, Fury. At first, as it's moving, I was getting fooled as I legitimately thought, is that a fireball under there? Which is why I kept getting hit and kept dying, and then all of a sudden I'm like, that's a Triforce? To borrow a line from Furon Burgundy, game you rascal!
So I have a question. How many people fought the other Gliok in that 5? The one that was to the right that had the stair that had the you had to like go to the right and then go south and then come back to the left to get to the Triforce?
I don't think I did. I also didn't see the Triforce under that Gliok, so I was very surprised when I picked it up.
Yeah, it was really rather hard to see. I think it was also the color of the dungeon too was just not cooperating.
I saw him in that room that was like it was the item room. There was a Gliok in the item room, but there was also a shutter door to the south of that Gliok. And I was like, you know what? I don't feel like fighting you in this room with 3 hearts. So I went to the left and found a room with like blue rhinos, and then just took the transport staircase to like one room south of the Triforce.
Yeah, I think Leslie tried bombing those walls, but I'm not 100% certain. Because he was in 5 for you were in 5 for quite a while, trying to just find a way to the Triforce, and I want to say that staircase might have been required.
Okay, that makes more sense.
No, that staircase was not required. There was a workaround, but you had to go through a mugger room, and if you're going through a mugger room from the north, the mugger won't let you go left or right to walk around, so you have to walk through, which is like basically a damage boost, or you just smack the mugger to give yourself iframes.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, that part was dumb. Some of the level designs are dumb. How about that level 8 Triforce being buried as deep as it was? Yuck.
Sadly, at the time, you were the only person who did not end up with the compass to point you in the right direction.
Oh, that would explain a large part of it. Well, the part that doesn't involve being unable to see the Gliok because it's parked right on the Triforce.
I mean, if you have to hide something underneath a giant dragon who breathes fire is not a terrible place.
Pretty rough. Yeah, pretty rough spot. Pretty rough luck, because honestly, to go back overall, I thought this was a very competitive series where any 3 of us could have made it out to the next round. It's just the way the seeds rolled, and unfortunately, I got the bad luck of the draw this time around, but I feel my game came along really nicely in this particular tournament. So, come next tournament, could I see myself going a bit further? We'll see. I don't know, but I've definitely gotten better at Zelda 1 Rando in general, because Cave Shuffle used to wreck me hard. Now, not so much, and I had all the dungeons found in under 40 minutes this seed, so that's a plus.
Yeah, it was a pretty quick moving seed for everybody. I think that at one point you were all 3 in level 8 at the exact same time, and it was kind of just everybody trying to wrap up. But Leslie, would it surprise you to know that you were actually the first person, I believe, to get that bow and have the silvers in your possession?
Part of me isn't surprised, but part of me is also not surprised to have not grabbed all the things that were necessary, because it would have been nice to have found the white sword, would have been nice to have found the red ring. Those things never materialized for me.
They were both in 9.
Yeah. Well, we were still missing staircase heart. Coast heart, rather.
Well,
Oh,
it's staircase in this seed for all intents and
So
purposes.
yeah, we didn't see. It was the item in 7, and then the 2 items in 9. So
I
it was
don't
you
know
know.
what the item in 6 was.
Item in 6 was the red candle.
I dug deep for it, and that's when I thought I was actually going to lose this seed.
Well, thankfully, at the same time, our other 2 runners were trying to find. I believe it was maybe the bow or the silvers. No,
I was
Magic
level
Friends.
8.
Yeah, Magic Friends and level 8.
I was in level 8 still digging out the 2 items because I didn't know where level 2 was. So because I only had one spot that wasn't, I had like the 2 raft spots, the push block north of 5, the recorder lake, and the one spot next to level 9 were the only locations I had left.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I got both the items on a 9 so that I could check all those so that I could realize I needed to bomb the one location next to level 9.
I mean, at least it was kind of a one-stop shop.
I did find the blue ring under Recorder Lake, which made everything go a lot faster.
That did help.
Oh, yeah, that would have helped me tremendously, because without a ring, as y'all saw in level 9, I get wrecked.
Your
To be fair,
Ganon.
I didn't find... Hey, by the time I found all the dungeons, I just stopped digging overworld thinking, okay, let's just go.
Yeah.
Your last Ganon fight was actually incredibly well done.
Thanks. At that point, I'm just like, okay, let's just get past Ganon, and then we'll worry about the rest of 9. I just wish Zelda had been easier to find. But I found the compass, so there you
Yeah,
go.
you were the only one of the runners to find the compass, and you actually found an alternate path.
I think the urge to take the staircases to avoid the tough combat might have led to me finding that alternate path, if I'm to be honest.
Yeah, the path both of us took was just bombing a whole bunch of rooms in the top half of the dungeon and then coming down from the top side to get to where Zelda was.
Yeah, I ran out of bombs, so I had to go for the alternate route. And thankfully it worked, otherwise I'd probably still be playing.
Right.
And probably cursing at the game at the same time. But with Mike muted, y'all wouldn't have known about it.
Anyway, so while we start to wrap up here, any final thoughts from either the people moving on or sadly the people leaving the tournament?
I'm not totally leaving the tournament because I now shift over to the commentary side of things while I also get ready for other things going on my end. Because this early time of the year, there tend to be a lot of randomizer tournaments, and I get involved in quite a few of them. Sure, this tournament stay was shorter, but I feel my gameplay was overall better. As I got better, as I worked on my weaknesses with routing in general, especially for cave shuffles. I can pull up my tracker and I can tell you how much of that overworld I did not check. A large portion of it. I'd say I'd still have about 30 to 40% of my available checks not done. That's how quickly I found the dungeons in this seed. I ain't doing that again. Probably not. But hey, it was a fun time. And Paratrooper, Magic Friends, in the next round, good luck. Because I assure you, you're definitely going to need it. Because on the plus side, I don't get to get bounced by random effect for the second tournament in a row.
Yeah, GG. Good playing with you.
GG, absolutely. And once the tournaments end, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the weeklies start up again. Because, hey, I'm going to keep this up. Because I see a bit more potential here than I previously thought.
Well, there we go. I just want to give a thanks to Karos1 for being our tracker for tonight and hitting all the buttons that make us look good and keep us informed. Thank you to all of you for a very well-run race, and I will pass it over to Fury to see if he's got anything to say, but thank you for hanging out with me for a couple of hours, Fury.
Oh, it was fun. We watched the runners have lots of fun, especially early.
Yeah, but we never talked about cookies.
Yeah, but
That reminds me, I got a snack next to me.
See, there we go, bright side.
yep. But no, it was a very interesting race. There was a lot of things going on with times involved, and didn't know who exactly was ahead at one point or another. Given one runner had bow and silvers, the other one had more Triforces, but didn't have the bow yet. So it's just a question of who was going to get there first, and Paratrooper was the one that managed to get there and claim her victory and move on, but could have easily gone the other way as well, so I enjoyed myself.
Mm-hmm. Alright, and with that, thank you very much, guys, and everybody have a good night.
All right. Good night.
Good night, everybody.